SimplyCook is a recipe box subscription like no other. So we don't actually include the fresh ingredients. It's 4 flavour kits, 4 recipe cards, and then the customer has complete flexibility when to cook on their own terms within 2 to 3 month shelf life of the product.
THG Ingenuity as a whole is a global e-commerce solution supporting brands with our 3 main pillars, so THG Fulfill, e-commerce and studio. We manage the gift with purchase channel, which allows us to promote non-endemic partners at the basket pages of both THG and Ingenuity sites. Non-endemic retail media will be those third-party offers, so brands that aren't stocked on site, which is where you'll find the gift with purchase or any advertisers that are on post-checkout. The feature was originally built to kind of promote and upsell our own products, especially on MyProtein. Those kind of minimum spend, get free protein bar. The channel was originally tested with SimplyCook, and the value of the partnership and the redemptions kind of spoke for itself.
And let's bring that monetization point to life a little bit as well, right? So the brands that you are promoting would pay you a commission.
Yeah, so they pay a commission, and then there's often like tenancy fees associated as well.
We're not paying for traffic, we're paying for actual conversions. And through Awin, we're able to validate those conversions as well. Like, are they a legitimate trialist, or are they someone who cancelled immediately? And if they did, then we're able to decline that commission. So we're paying for pure performance and customers that we're bringing into the business. Over the years, through Awin, I think we started partnering in 2021. I think we've paid out around $1 million in commission to THG Ingenuity over the years, which is a fun little fact.
If I was a shopper with MyProtein today, what would that user journey look like?
Yes, so you wouldn't notice it until you get to the basket page. And then that's where you'd see a couple of non-endemic third-party offers, all very tailored to the brand that the site's on. So if you're on MyProtein, you'll see the likes of SimplyCook, or people that are very aligned with the MyProtein customer. And then the customer selects all, one, none, and then they can then go on to redeem that offer through the third-party website.
So there's no data sharing, which I think makes this nice and easy. Pippa, from your side, what's the benefit of running an activity like this?
The benefit for us is the exposure that we get through these brands. Like MyProtein is a huge brand. The quality of customers acquired through these types of campaigns just retain so much better than traditional affiliates. And obviously traditional affiliates play a role still. They tend to be lower CPA, whereas with brand partnerships, we're willing to pay a higher CPA because we do see that the customer retains a lot longer.
What does quality of customer look like?
So the SimplyCook definition is 6-week activation. So after we've initially acquired the customer, at the 6-week point, what percentage of those are still with us? And then we've started to look at it more long term as well, over 52 weeks.
Do you see a different type of behaviour from customers that would interact with those offers? Do they typically shop more frequently or spend more?
Yeah, we have seen positive impacts from the gift with purchase channel on retention, average order value and conversion rate across the sites. SimplyCook is obviously one of the strongest offers that we work with. That free first-time box engages really well with the customers. We know that a MyProtein customer is aligned with SimplyCook because of the assumptions we can make about that customer, like a health-conscious, price-conscious customer. So all aligns quite well.
We definitely have a preference for brands like MyProtein. We partner with Ninja Kitchen as well. So where there's a natural brand affinity with wanting to cook more at home or eat slightly healthier, we found that from our own customers, a lot of them before SimplyCook were eating shop-bought pizzas, ready meals. So transitioning from that to SimplyCook is actually a much healthier option.
This idea of promoting a non-endemic, so a brand that you don't stock on your own site, to your customers at point of conversion, how did you get that signed off by senior leadership teams?
As you can imagine, with any new channel, it's had its challenges, but we've done a lot of work to prove the value of the channel in the sense of its impact on conversion rates, average order values and retention, which have all been really positive metrics. So yeah, over the years, it's definitely proved and continues to prove its value.
Unless there's that education piece, people aren't really going to understand what brand partnerships is. They assume it's kind of above the line marketing campaigns, brand awareness campaigns, whereas I've had to present to the business each step of the customer journey for them to see the different touch points, because it's not just a one and done above the line type campaign. They have to opt into the gift with purchase at checkout. Once they've completed the order, they receive the redemption email, then they have to click through onto a landing page, which is often co-branded as well. So it's a full funnel, and only once we've kind of demonstrated that to the business, they really understand what we mean when we say brand partnerships.
What I think is particularly interesting about brand partnerships is we circumnavigate that because we're not reliant on AI, live language models, making referrals. The referral actually comes right at the point of transaction, and you're keeping the customer within that shopping moment.
Ultimately, you do land on the retailer's website. You have to transact on the retailer's website. So I guess brands will need to think more about, okay, I'm not able to kind of communicate the brand story via the traditional publishers as much anymore. How can I do that through brand partnerships? And I think it will become increasingly important to kind of weave the brand awareness and upper funnel content into these kind of gift with purchase campaigns.
What is then one piece of advice you'd give to a brand listening today that wants to partake in brand partnerships?
If you're a relatively unknown brand, appreciate it might be difficult to give away a completely free product, but think about the long term and the brand awareness that these brands can give you. Don't just think about the initial hit to your margin. It's a lot more valuable in the long run.
Obviously, the incremental value. I mean, we've spoken about that £1 million payout. It's hugely beneficial to the brands, but as well as that, the benefits on conversion, average order value, and customer retention. We've done a lot of work to kind of pull that data to prove its value. So yeah, I think there's a lot of value to being a brand partner.